Hello and welcome to another episode of Joshy and Squirtle. I'm on another adventure. I'm about to fall off a cliff. Probably should pay attention because I really don't want to die falling off a cliff. This episode is about depression and how it affects people's lives, or how I got over my depression, honestly. Cue intro. For me, it's moments of gazing into the abyss. Well, there's a lot more than that, but my art teacher once drew a picture of me, and he called it fleeting. I didn't understand what that meant at the time, but as I got older, I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. So, I would have, full-on conversations with people, and I would just disappear. And then there was a part in the movie where it was like, oh, that was just so freaking awesome. And then all of a sudden, Josh. Hey, you with me, buddy?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Then, it's not like their conversations were boring or anything, it's just sometimes I just disappear. I don't know where I go, what I'm thinking. All I know is I feel very lost when I come back. Kind of empty-ish. It's interesting. And I also know that this is a family issue because my sister does it too. She'll be staring at a blank TV intently. So, where we go, maybe it's our own little world, but it's interesting. My actual depression has evolved and changed over time. The more I figured out what was actually causing these issues, depending on if it was the bipolar mania or if it was something external, like hoping someone would text me, or the expectations of people to just seeing how people click together, and where I was by myself. And going like, hey, why don't I click with these people? Well, plain and simple, for something like that, it was just, I'm different. I don't click with everybody. I might be nice, but doesn't mean you want to hang out with me. With the bipolar, I never realized I had any form of that. I called it manic depression, which is just another fancy word for bipolarness. But I would go through anger, sadness, even happiness, just out of nowhere, just pop up. And I didn't even realize I had anger issues, to be honest. I thought I was just going through something, or someone said something to me. But no, I literally was just angry, and I didn't have any idea why. It's just flipping out on people like my mom or something. I do know sometimes my brain will get overstimulated, whether it's sound because my ears are sensitive, and I start freaking out. Not only that, if I'm in a crowd and people keep bumping into me, or they get in my little space, my little bubble, I start to really get agitated, and I want to push that person or just get away from that situation as fast as possible. And a lot of people really don't notice because I kind of hide it in, but I start to dart my eyes and I get really antsy, and yeah, it's not fun. It's worse when the people that keep doing it are people that you know, and they know you, but they just keep getting in your circle, your bubble, and you're just like, please just get out of my bubble. Stop bumping into me. There's no space here. Just move a little further away from me if you can. Not good in concerts. Yeah, so I did notice that a lot of things like that will stimulate the external depression. But as for the bipolarness, I'm not sure if that's connected. It might be. Still trying to figure that out. I need to do a lot of research upon that. When I go through my depression, it's different than anger. I break down easier, and I feel a lack of interest in everything but people. Oddly, I want to be around people as much as I can. I need that closeness, that comfort that comes along with bonding. It's That's why separation anxiety is not fun, or even agoraphobia, because you can actually have both in crowd and out of crowd where you're afraid to be alone, which I a lot of times have both at the same time, because why? I become very reclusive sometimes and lazy. I don't want to get off the couch, or I should say bed. I don't really have a couch right now. But I can't sleep. I have really bad insomnia, and if I get into bed and I'm watching something, I might actually fall asleep. But for the most part, I just stay awake, and it's kind of not fun. It's also like the willingness to get into bed. Trying to understand, hey Josh, you need to put yourself into bed to go to sleep. And my brain's like, no, I gotta do this, no, I gotta do that, no, I got all this stuff to do. And, you know, it's horrible, honestly, sometimes. I also have like this feeling of hopelessness, and my self-esteem is just wrecked. Like, everything is like, oh, I'm not good at this, oh, I'm not good at that. All the work that I have done was for nothing, and no one cares. I fail, I fail, I fail. And that's all I'll ever do. I feel out of my body and my mind, just floating into space, like detached from everything that I feel inside, to where it just, I feel empty, just gone. And this is all in a matter of like moments, seconds. I don't just like, sometimes I'll feel like this for days, but other times it's just boom, you know, I just feel like it, and I don't know why. Sometimes I can snap out of it, sometimes I don't. And you can kind of see it on my face whenever I'm going through stuff like that. And the right thing to do is ask me, hey, are you okay? You okay, bud? But a lot of times people will just keep droning on about what's going on, complaining about their job, blah, blah, blah. And I know it's normal, and it's okay. It's just harder when you try to figure this out yourself, and you're trying to have people help you, but they can't, because they really don't know how, honestly. And you have to teach yourself different ways to cope with what you're going through, and that there is the hardest thing to do. And I noticed, like, yeah, a lot of social media is going to make you feel depressed, because you see all these other people out there who have millions of likes and millions of subscribers to like their YouTube and stuff, and you're like, why can't I have that? I'm doing the same kind of thing they are, in a way. I might not be as funny as some of them, but at least I have some sort of something. And then you start realizing, oh, who the fuck cares? Honestly, who cares? Who cares if you don't have 1 million likes? Who cares if no one looks at your stuff? Who cares if no one emails you or talks to you or even texts you? As long as you try to figure out what you are doing in life, and no matter how many times you fail, you're fine. Just keep going. Don't like, I'm going to quit. I'm going to stop. Other people want you to stop because they want you to be on their level. Don't. Just keep going. I learned the one thing I didn't understand is I actually have friends. I do have people that I can go and be like, hey, I'm going through something, I need your help. And they will be there with, they'll be there for you. If you can find that, that's great. If you don't have that, then you have to find other ways to cope. And before all of that, I started writing. I started doing the t-shirt designs and all this other stuff just to keep this brain occupied from being at a standstill, a halt. Because once I get into my brain, once there's nothing for me to do, the depression will take over hardcore. And it's not like I'm trying to run from it. I'm just trying to persuade it so that way it's not so heavy in my brain. So, just like these cliffs that if you look down, depression is just like that. It could be very unstable, and at any moment anything could happen, break. And for some, they tumble down to their death. And for others, they learn how to manage it and what is on me? They learn how to manage it and figure out what they need to do in life. Finding a path that suits them. And that's it. If you enjoy what I'm doing here, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see other stuff, I have other videos. Subscribe, notify yourself later. If you want to, hit that bell or something. Share it with people if you want to get the message across about this or anything that I've done. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I didn't ask one for anyone in this one, but how do you deal with your depression? How do you deal with everything that you go through in life? What makes you live another day, you know? Yeah, that's it. So, laters.